And what's good, Grown Up Gang? Welcome back to the Grown Up Podcast. I appreciate y'all for coming back, and I appreciate you for tuning in and subscribing to the podcast. If you have not hit that subscribe button, please do. I appreciate you. Hopefully you appreciate me, and we can create something beautiful here on the Grown Up Podcast. So hit that subscribe button for me, and you can follow me on my social medias to keep up with me in the podcast. And yeah, you already know I start the episode off by thanking the listeners and subscribers. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and supporting. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, you already know, right here on the Grown Up Podcast, I know I haven't said it in a minute, but we talk about that grown up shit. You know, we talk about adulting and what it is and what it means to adult in this new age of living. So appreciate you guys again for tuning in and coming back, and happy holidays to you guys. Hopefully you had a great Christmas. Hopefully you're having a great holidays. Hopefully you're spending time with those loved ones. And if you if you aren't able to spend time with them, COVID's still going around, so hopefully you're still connecting with them through FaceTime or text message or something. Stay connected, and shout out to the loved ones that didn't make it to the end of the year. We love you guys, and we're holding it down for you. And so hold your loved ones close, you guys. So yeah, shout out to you guys again. Like I said, happy holidays, and appreciate y'all. So let's get to the show. So last week, my dope college friend Angel, he came through and he came on the podcast, and we had a great discussion. We talked about a Chicano topic, something that he talks about on his show, the NA podcast. So you guys please go and check him out, the NA podcast with Angel Lopez. He's dope. He gives Chicano history and kind of puts his spin on it. So it's super dope. So go and check him out. And I appreciate him for coming through and talking about that subject with me. And it was exciting. It's always exciting, to collaborate and do podcast mashups. And I'm so excited that I do have some more in store, and I'm working on that. And so that's actually really what I want to talk about in this episode. Is I want to obviously do a wrap up, because I told you guys I would do kind of a part 2 and let you guys know on what my independent journey was like and kind of my year wrap up. So I'm giving you that part 2. I'm giving you this wrap up. This might be the last episode before the new year starts. So I'm trying to get this in here. And then I also have 2 more now interviews that I actually have not dropped for 2021. So, and the reason why is because financially things have been pretty tight. I think I mentioned to you guys that I'm having surgery pretty soon here in January. So, and with my videos to go to couple with audio, for my YouTube page, I pay for someone to edit those videos and, make them look nice and pretty for you guys to check out. So with things being a little financially tight, I haven't been able to get that video portion for you guys. So hopefully 2022 I can get that video portion to couple with the audio. But for now, I'm going to drop those interviews because they were super dope interviews from super dope artists. So we got 2 more interview drops for you guys this week. Go and check those out. And I appreciate you guys for supporting the independent artists and the Now segment this year. It's been amazing. It's been super dope. Appreciate the artists for reaching back out to me and loving what I'm doing and wanting to, showcase their music and wanting to, support what I'm doing and following the podcast and, wanting to interview. It's been really unreal, and when I started this segment, I had no idea if I would even get one response back. And so for it to be at up to, I think at least I've done featured at least maybe 20 artists, for them to reach back out to me and say, yes, I would love to, and things like that. It really is exciting, and it makes me feel so good, that, I'm helping other people, because that's what I really feel like, that what I'm supposed to be doing is helping other people, and especially helping those who are also doing their independent thing, because I understand doing this independent thing with this podcasting, it is insane, you guys. And so we have to support each other doing our independent thing, because although it's not the quote unquote normal or natural way to be doing things, we probably should go into the work field and work for 50 years and then retire and have a 401k and all that shit. We want to do something different. We want to follow a different path, and we want to be independent. So, shout out to them. Go and check out my Instagram at The Grown Up Podcast, all lowercase. I posted a post of all the artists that were featured on the Now Naturally on the Wave segment this year. So please go and check that out. Go and check those artists out. Go follow them. Go and check out their music. I know some of them are dropping some new music, so I'm excited. Hopefully we're gonna have those artists with their new music back for 2022, and I already have brand new artists coming in for 2022 who want to feature their music and do interviews. So it's really been a blessing. I'm so excited. And so thank you guys so much for supporting the artists and supporting this now, movement. And hopefully you've been catching some artist waves, and I just hope to continue to, support independent artists, support independent journeys, support independent businesses, and just independent creativity. Independent creativity. We're the new wave. So thank you guys for supporting. So anyways, with that being said, I want to start out with talking about my independent journey here with podcasting. So I've been doing the Grown Up Podcast for about a year now. It's crazy that I've been doing this for a year, actually a little bit over a year. I think a year now. This podcast has been definitely a journey for sure, ups and downs. Some days you want a podcast, some days you don't. Some days you're in the complete mood, and then you do it, but then it doesn't sound right, or it's been definitely a learning journey for sure. And so my hardest parts for me was being consistent, because I've had a lot happen to me this year, and I'll get into that a little bit later with my year wrap up. And so it's been really difficult to stay consistent with not only a drop day, but a recording schedule and things like that, just because my life has changed so much this year. So being consistent has definitely been one of the hardest parts. Trying to maintain a life, a quote unquote life. We all know what trying to maintain a life means. Basically anything that doesn't involve working, so just trying to hang with friends, go out, and all this stuff. And on top of trying to have a life, it's COVID. So even trying to have a life, it's difficult because with COVID going around, you can't really go out. And then even with wanting to hang out with friends and stuff like that, it's a little scary. You have to be cautious and whatever. So it's been really hard with doing the independent journey with that, because it's like sometimes I have so much free time, and I'm like, okay, I should be recording, I should, post an episode, or I should be marketing for the podcast or whatever. But then I'm like, okay, well, I want to hang out with friends, or I want to just relax and do something for me, so that has been, really hard with, trying to maintain some sort of a life outside of working and podcasting and stuff like that. And then another thing that has been the hardest part for me is building a resume off of my own work and success, because when you're independent, you only have your word against whatever it is that you're applying for. So, I'm really trying to get more into the podcasting field, hopefully trying to get more work with podcasting, producing other people's shows and stuff like that in 2022. And so with doing that, it's difficult to not really have like a company or like, you know, a well-known company or, you know, sponsors or whatever the case may be that can back you up and say, yeah, you know, this person's work is essentially been, you know, helpful or whatever the case may be, you know, supporting what you're doing with your work, you know, like it just, when you have like a regular resume, you know, when you're in the work field, you know, you have all these jobs that say, yes, this person has done this job, this is what they've done at this job, and this is what they've done that has qualified them for this job that they're applying for right now, right? And essentially with podcasting, you don't really have too much of that, kind of. You know, you have mostly just your episodes that you put out every week. You know, what type of efforts that you put into, you know, creating your content is essentially the work that you're going to showcase when you're trying to build a resume, you know, in this field. And so for me, thank God that I went to college before this, and so I still have pretty much everything that I've done in college still on my website, if you guys want to check that out. And I have everything on there, so I have my work there, so I have a little bit of work that I can kind of showcase for it. But you know, trying to showcase what I'm building now and building a resume for that is definitely a hard part, doing this independent journey, and then also trying to kind of turn that into going deeper into the podcasting industry by trying to, you know, secure a position and things like that. So that's been the hardest part. Those have been the hardest parts for me, but I think I'm maintaining well, and you guys keep tuning in, so thank you guys for that. So yeah, and then I think the easiest part of this independent journey is having that previous knowledge and experience from college. You know, like I was saying, when you have a regular resume, you have all these jobs that say, yes, they did this job, this is what they did, and this is what qualifies them to do, you know, the job that they're applying for. And so with having that previous knowledge and previous experience from college and being able to keep that and maintain that and have that on a place where people can, you know, come to and look at that, which is my website, that helps, and that gives me a little bit of a little bit. But that also was like 2-3 years ago almost now, which is crazy to say. So now it's like, okay, yes, they can go off of that, but also what they can go off of currently what I'm doing, you know. So like I said, with that, that's kind of you know, coupled into building my resume. But I think that has definitely still been an easier part because I have the knowledge of podcasting. So, you know, when I decided to start my podcast, you know, it was essentially a lot easier for me to start it and, you know what I was going to do, know the direction I was going in, you know, and know everything the efforts and everything I needed to put into, you know, as far as creating my podcast and putting it out there. So that was pretty easy, you know, as far as knowing what I can do with marketing, where I can go to start my podcasting, it, you know, everything, how far I've come, you know, is definitely due to the previous knowledge and experience that I gained from college. So that's been great. Another thing is that I'm marketing myself. You know, that's been an easy part of just, you know, knowing myself, knowing what I can market, and knowing that I don't have to go through and talk to all these other people, you know, and make my head hurt because I'm doing it. It's me, independent. So, you know, I know myself, I know how I can market, you know, stuff like that. And also having a home studio. You know, it's nice and convenient. I can go in my own home, you know, record, do my podcasting thing and not have to worry about, oh shit, I might be losing out money this day because I booked a studio but I don't feel good, so I can't go in and record, or I'm not in the mood to record, whatever the case may be. And now you booked a studio and now you lost money, or something like that. So those are some easy kind of parts to the journey. But of course, there's always good and bad and ups and downs and easy parts and hard parts to everything that you do in life, and especially in the independent journey. So I hope to continue to grow the podcast, though, because it really has it's opened a lot of doors for me. It's introduced me to a lot of really, really great people, and people that I hope to connect with personally, and hope to stay connected with and support, and people that have wanted to support me and wanted to help me out, and have resources that I'm able to use. And it's just been such a great journey, doing it independently. And you meet so many great people, and I've connected with so many awesome independent people as well. And so, not saying that, you can't make the best of not doing an independent journey, but, I'm just speaking for my journey. It's been amazing. So, this year has been full of grown-up shit for me. My year wrap up is pretty crazy. Started this year off, getting divorced and going through that, and that was a pretty tough time for me. Not the relationship part, because I had already, come to terms with the relationship ending. But it was just the divorce part for me that was really tough, because, of course, no one ever wants to hear divorce, and so for me, marriage means a lot to me. And so getting a divorce was really hard, but, I got through that, and then, transitioning into being in a new relationship, and, learning from that, and having a tremendous amount of growth within that, and starting therapy through that. So that has been super dope and amazing for me. And then, of course, starting this podcast. I didn't start it this year. I started it in 2020 last year, but as far as just podcasting, I've been podcasting for this whole that whole time. So I started during this pandemic, sort of. It was pretty crazy. But, you guys have really been supporting me, and I am truly grateful that, you tune in and you subscribe and you support. And, it's exciting to do this independent thing and know that, you're capable of putting your mind to whatever it is that you want to do and creating whatever it is that you want to do, because we all have some sort of gift that, we can give to the world. And if we find that gift and we find that niche, stick with it, work hard, and, don't stop. And that's what I'm trying to do with this. I think I found my niche with podcasting. I love it. I really think I have an ear for it. And so, I'm not going to stop. I hope to grow the Grown Up Podcast. I hope to, hopefully write for other podcasts or produce other podcasts, or, something to that nature. And, I'm excited to just see whatever opportunities, whatever doors that are going to be open, and so another thing that I had to do in this journey is kind of figure out how I could market myself better with the podcast. So I created these business cards. I hope you guys seen them. I posted on my Instagram a few times. So I created these business cards, and I have the QR scan codes on them, because I know we're very digitized these days. So I think that was a really dope experience, just how to market myself in a different fashion, and also, in interesting way, because I don't think you would think about a podcast having a business card. But, I finally created that, and that was really dope. And so I have those now. And so, just trying to navigate through all these different changes of divorce, new relationship, new job, all these things. It's been insane. It's been an insane year for me, but it's also been an insane amount of growth as well. And I can definitely say that I'm growing, that I'm changing, that I'm definitely better than I was the day before. And, I'm so excited to think of more creative ideas to bring to the podcast. And, I'm excited to hopefully get this merch going finally. I mean, I have it, it looks great, you guys. I just, like I said, once these big things get out of the way, surgery, things like that, I'm really going to be putting a lot more than shit. I'm just gonna be putting my all into it. Okay, I'm gonna be putting my all into this. I got merch on the way. I am currently creating a brand new Grown Up Podcast indie playlist. I'm so excited for this. So if you guys have no idea because you aren't following me on my Instagram at the Grown Up Podcast, all lowercase, or on Twitter at famousd_95, then you would have seen that I posted that Grown Up Podcast indie playlist will be coming to you guys soon. So this will be available on Spotify. So if you have Spotify, if you're tuning in to me from Spotify, shout out to you. Thank you very much. This playlist will be created for you guys. And hopefully I can figure out, maybe create a playlist for those that listen to Apple Music. I don't know yet, but for now, Spotify listeners, here it is. So I will be creating a playlist of not only my favorite episodes, but also episodes that featured the independent artist music. And then also it will have the interviews from the artists that wanted to do interviews here on the podcast. And then I will also be putting in my favorite, or just a mixed, curated listening of each artist's music. Okay, so I'm trying to do maybe 2 or 3 songs of theirs at a time. And yeah, so I'm going to be creating this playlist. So you guys, if you're, if sometimes you get a little tired, you already listened to me talking for 30 minutes and you don't want to listen to that extra 3 minutes for that artist, it's all good. I got you. You could go to the playlist. You can check out their music there. Just check it out directly. And I'm excited for this. This is something new that I'm trying. So hopefully you guys will like this. And we're gonna keep it pushing like that. So Grown Up Podcast indie playlist on Spotify coming soon, 2022. I'm excited for that. And so I have some things in the works. I really still want to put on these independent virtual concerts type of thing. Hopefully I can get that going. I hope for more guests and more music, and I want to get you guys involved, maybe either by sending in topics, or if you guys want to come on the show and talk about some adulting grown-up shit that be happening in your life. I'm all for it. I'm excited. I love to collab. I love to connect. I have some different areas and different lanes that I'm dabbling into soon here. So, I'm really excited, and I hope to maybe even do live podcasts. I don't know how you guys feel about that. If you guys want a live podcast episode, I'm down to figure out how I would be able to do that. And hopefully also coming in 2022, I'll add some video element. That's a little difficult because then that means I would have to get dressed and put outfits on, y'all. And I'm not fashionable. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I just put shit on, okay? I put whatever feels comfortable to me on. It may or may not match, but it's comfortable. So like, and I just do me. So and essentially that just does not work because you gotta be fashionable in the video. So for you guys, if you guys would love a video element to this, please let me know, and I'll figure out a way to get that started. And yeah, so I mean, that's it, you guys. That's my year wrap up. It's been a crazy year. We've talked about a lot of grown-up shit. We've shared some great grown-up moments. We've shared some dope ass grown-up music, independent music. And yeah, like I said, I'm excited. I already have guests that I have lined up for you guys. I already have interviews, already have music. And I just want to be better. And and I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I don't even know what else to say. You guys have really supported me and really been down for the podcast, and so I appreciate y'all. And we got more grown-up shit to talk about. It's always some grown-up shit to talk about. So come 2022, we busting out the gates. We got that new music for y'all. I got some new topics for y'all to discuss and have some conversations about. And yeah, we gonna keep this adulting train rolling, y'all. I appreciate y'all. One more thing before I get out of here, I do want to touch a little bit because I think you guys are starting to hear the change in my voice a bit. It's getting a little deeper. But yeah, so I guess this is one huge thing that I forgot to talk about, is my transition. So that's another thing that I've also been going through and experiencing for this past year as well. And this journey has been, it's been an interesting one. It's definitely, of course, been a growth one for sure. But I would say that it's been the most freeing one for sure. The most freeing choice that I've made for myself to, finally listen to myself and become the person that, I want to see in the mirror. And yeah, I started taking testosterone shots in October, and I've been on testosterone for 3 months now. So it's unreal, honestly. I still pinch myself a little bit every time I wake up, and I see it, I'm like, yeah, this is really happening. You're really, being the person that you want to be. And so, so I'm 3 months on T-shots now. I just talked to my doctor. I'm going to be upping my dosage. So for the next 3 months, I'm going to be taking a bit higher dosage. So I'm excited about that. As you guys are hearing, my voice is getting a little bit deeper. So I'm really excited about that change. I've had some other changes, a couple other changes. I got a little bit of mustache growing on my top lip. I got some hair growing on the side of my face. I feel a little bit stronger, just a few things. So, but, I didn't want to essentially bombard you guys so much with the experience, but I do want to share this experience with you guys because obviously, of course, it is a part of me, but I want to be, as transparent as I can here on the Grown Up Podcast, because there could be somebody out there listening who needs somebody like me to, share my story and share what I'm going through, because they could be going through the same thing. And even if you're not experiencing what I'm experiencing, and if you don't understand what I'm experiencing, that's okay, because listening to me, then you can understand, and then we can, have a better shared experience together of understanding. So, I just wanted to throw that in there for you guys, so my transition journey has been going well so far. Like I said, 3 months on T now, up in the dosage. And as I mentioned, I am having top surgery in January. That's coming up here real soon. You can hear it in my voice. I'm getting a little nervous already. But yeah, a little nervous, but definitely mostly excited and happy that this is finally happening and I'm getting out the way, because this is something that I truly want. And so I'm excited. So I may or may not be uploading an episode. I'll be out I'll be out of work at least for maybe 4 to 5 weeks. So I will be getting up and walking around and stuff, and since I don't have to lift or anything with this, you probably will get an episode out of me. I'll let you guys know the update with that and kind of let you in on the experience and a little bit and stuff like that. So but yeah, I appreciate you guys for supporting me throughout my journey. Shout out to all my friends, and you guys, man, you guys have been insane. Like, the support has been crazy, and every time I have a doubt of, this or that, someone tells me, hey, they're gonna love you regardless because you're you. And, I really appreciate everybody. I appreciate you guys so much. So, yeah, with that being said, the year has motherfucking come to an end. I cannot believe it, but it is. And here's to 2022. Cheers to a new year. Happy New Year's to all of you guys. Again, happy holidays. I appreciate y'all. Again, look out for those 2 Now interviews dropping this week. Audio only, hopefully video coming in 2022. But yeah, look out for those. Those will be dropping this week. I appreciate you guys for supporting the podcast, and please do follow me on my social medias at The Grown Up Podcast, all lowercase, at FamousD_95. That's Instagram and Twitter at FamousD_95, and like the Facebook page at The Grown Up Podcast. Now, I don't post as much on my personal Instagram, as you can kind of a little bit understand why, because with my transition, I feel a little kind of insecure, out of place, because I'm in this awkward space of like, people know I'm transitioning, so it's a battle between saying, she and he, and so that's a hard space mentally and emotionally to be in. But I do try and post as much as I can. My little mustache is starting to show, so feeling a little bit confident there. But yeah, so I'm doing my best, but I'm definitely trying to post more on the Grown Up Podcast page. So please definitely follow me on there, and I'll be saying some good stuff on Twitter, just every now and then. And I retweet some good stuff every now and then too. So if you have Twitter, follow me, and please, if you know any independent artists in your life, send them to the Grown Up Podcast. Have them check out my social media. They can check out the website there, or that you can tell them directly send me an email at grownuppodcast95@gmail.com. Tell them to send me 2 to 3 tracks, their stage name, their social media links, and their website if they have one. And then we'll go from there. I'll talk with them there, and also let them know if they want to do an interview. Put that in the email as well, and they can get featured here on the Naturally on a Wave segment. And yeah, I'm excited. Yes, 2022, bigger and better things. Grown Up Podcast is expanding. We are going up. We are talking about more shit in 2022. So appreciate you guys so much. And yeah, y'all already know what to do. I have no more music for you guys. I have nothing else but these interviews. So you guys just watch out for those interviews this week. And yeah, so I appreciate you guys. And y'all already know, stay safe, be kind, and we out.